right, with those guys is sponsored by
Those guys.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Happy Sunday. How are you, Paul? How are you, Tom? How are you, Herman? Tim Jackson, Desmond
Doing
Donders.
good.
The flyby guys is waiting.
Hello,
in the cut.
Dave. Big Tim.
Digital Kite. That's Audrey. That's Audley, Tom.
Audley, how are you, brother?
He was trying to figure out that the secret to having a decent YouTube channel and building a YouTube channel. So I'm going to personally give him some tips in a DM and when we have time.
Audley's doing
Michael
good, man.
Blade, but Audley, Digital
Audley's got
Kite,
great stuff up there.
Digital Kite, Audley, introduce yourself to people, support their channels. If you click on support their channel, they tend to want to support your channel back. Let them know, hey, Michael Blade, I supported your channel. Michael Blade will probably go check out your channel, etc. That's how we do it here. Okay.
Throw up your link. Throw up your link, Audley. Up in the chat. Throw it up there.
I don't think you can.
Try to blow it up. No, we can't.
He should be able to.
Is he a moderator?
He can put a link now. He should be able to put his link now. So put the link to your page so everyone in the chat can go by and show you support. And if you hang out long enough, you'll see that we do support each other. What's up, Paul and everybody?
Another day in paradise is all I got to say.
I did want to say,
good for you, Paul.
I did want to say one thing, and hopefully I was going to go into a rant early in the live stream, and I decided not to. So all I can say
rants
is
today?
we're
Where's the
not
fun
going
in
to
that?
discuss any type of politics on this stream tonight.
Where's the fun in that?
And in the future. And anyone who comes into the chat tonight or in the future that does discuss politics, you're getting kicked.
Oh shit!
I
guess I'm going to get a timeout for the next month.
We'll time you out. What's that, Tom? I didn't hear.
I guess I'm going to get timed out for the next month. Jeez.
Tom says he'll see you after Christmas.
Yeah, I'm just hoping there's a present under the tree by Christmas. Jeez.
Support Digital Kite. Everyone support.
Definitely support him.
It'll come a little late, but they'll be there.
Yeah.
We are. It's rolling out for you. Nice Christmas. Three pieces.
Night Train, what's good? Going to get a sunset view. Be back soon. Show running here. Not a problem. We appreciate it, Night Train. Go fly safe, bro. What's up, Desmond Donders? Tim Jackson, all the way in Australia. Desmond Donders, also across the pond. And we have who was he? The flyby guys. Yeah, the flyby guys were here earlier, so they'll probably be back in once we go live.
Hey,
they're all the way in New
What's good, man?
Logan Carpenter, how are you? So anyway, how's everyone's weekend? Are you loving this New York City weather, guys?
Well, it'd be great if this were New York City year-round weather, huh?
I know.
Well,
then I wouldn't be wishing I could move to Arizona.
No. So as New Yorkers, we don't look a gift horse.
Huh?
A lot of people are having good weather right now.
Across the country, actually.
Yeah. In fact,
so that's a good thing.
In fact, from the west side of the lakes all the way to the East Coast, it's clear. No storms,
now, that has
no
nothing
clouds.
to do with nothing to do with politics whatsoever. Okay, I just want to clarify that for everybody. It has nothing to do with politics.
No, because you know what's funny? Because when Dorothy,
that's right, click that like
killed
button.
the witch, and the skies cleared up
right away.
Yeah,
you're stuck with those shoes though. Okay, stuck with those shoes. It's like stepping in mud. Okay. But hey, on to other things. Yes, the weather was great. It's all the reason to get out there
and fly.
I had to go burn. I had to go burn 3 batteries today. And of course, I'll charge up tomorrow because I'm taking tomorrow off. We'll go do a ride in the morning and hopefully get some active track shots in.
Okay.
Also.
Okay. Interesting. You're riding upstate tomorrow, or
no? I might do the Greenway along Jones Beach to Gilgo Bay.
Okay. Oh, you're going out on the island.
Yeah, we went to Bethpage yesterday. We did the Bethpage Bikeway. We did 25 miles on the Bethpage Bikeway. So we started all the way up by the Long Island Expressway and took that even south of
Hey, Mia's Drone Adventure.
south of the Southern State Parkway.
Tom,
So that was nice.
Tom,
Okay.
Tom,
Paul, what's up
Tom.
with you, man?
Me and Lawrence,
Yes, Herman.
You
me
seem
and Lawrence started flying a couple of years ago, and every week we were going here, going there, going here, going there. And after a while, we went to so many places that were like, yo, we have to now start getting
hey, Rob.
out of the city and going
Oh yeah.
other places. And
get
once
crazy.
once that got saturated, we're like, where do we go fly now?
Yeah.
And
Road trip.
I don't want you to be I don't want to go live on Wednesday, on Sunday, and you're telling me like, you know, you're in like Colorado and you're on the trail and you're going live from the trail on your bike because you done ran out of places.
Right.
Dude,
this side of the country.
I'll console you with this. I'll let you ride along with me virtually. Okay. There you go, bro. Okay.
All right, no problem.
Just like I fly with you every time you set your bird up. Okay. That's all. Yeah, guys, definitely check out Audley's stuff. Audley's got some nice stuff, man.
Yeah,
Definitely
check out
stuff
his
to check
channel.
out. Audley's another New Yorker.
Yes, he's here.
Guys, just warning you.
He's another New Yorker. And he's another licensed pilot. And he was out here hanging with us on Sunday. He was flying with us Sunday along the beach. And for some reason, the DJI app was messing up. But do you guys remember Philip? His name is Philippe or Philip. The guy talks with a funny accent, sounds like Latka from Taxi.
Okay.
Well, he started flying with NYC Fiber
really
about 2.5 years ago. In fact, his first flight ever was when we went to Inwood Hill Park up in the Bronx. But anyway, he was supposed to come and meet up with us on this Sunday. We had a little mini meetup, some FPV guys, and Audley was there. Digital Kite, he was there, and he was the only DJI guy. Everybody else was flying FPV. And somehow DJI, their app was messing up out here because they kept sending him, I think, what was it, Audley? They kept sending you the wrong ID code or something, or it was something where you punch, you know how you punch in your phone number and it keeps adding that one? It was doing something stupid like that was preventing him from getting the code and authorization.
Oh, to set up, yeah.
Right. And Philippe came out here today and he's like, Lawrence, I'm about to cry, man. And then me and Justin are out flying already. He's, yo, I'm going crazy. I can't take off. I'm in restricted airspace, blah, 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 blah. Is there any place else out here I could fly outside of the no-fly zone? I mean, you're like right on the border. It's the edge where we were. Literally.
You hear me?
You could literally go a few blocks.
Yeah, go
to the
3
right.
steps that way. Right.
Right. So
Oh, look at me. Oh.
So
hello. Anyone hear me?
I don't have
Yeah,
the,
we can
We
hear
hear
you.
you, we see you, and we're looking over your shoulder right now, Ray.
We can hear you.
I'm looking at myself on your screen right now, Ray.
Well, anyway, to make a long story short, we got him working. He says, I cannot get, it doesn't tell me, it doesn't give me authorization. And Justin came up with the idea and said, does he have cell phone signal? And it was like,
Well,
ding.
what was he on? Was he on
He was
a smart
on a
controller?
tablet. He was on a tablet.
Oh, the tablet wasn't connected. I had the same problem with the smart controller.
Yes.
I have to connect the smart controller to my mobile device in order to get my authorizations.
If you want to fly here in New York City in certain areas, and it's
absolutely
like that from now on. If you do not have a cell phone, this goes with remote ID. It all intertwines.
You'll be stuck in a bubble.
So if you do not have a cell phone signal, DJI will not authorize you to fly. Now, I'm only speaking for here in New York City. I don't know where Paul lives or where you other guys are, but that's what they're doing. So get used to it.
I always carry a cell phone hotspot.
Well, this is what I told him to do. I said, Philip, does your phone have a hotspot? And he's like, yes, it does. So I'm like, okay, great. turn on your hotspot and use your tablet to connect via Wi-Fi, and you should get it. And he hit me back. Justin and I were back in Rockaway, where we were maybe a little bit before him, and he texted me back, I got it. It works great. So he was real happy because he wanted to come out here and catch the cranes and them disassembling the jetties like they're doing. There's giant boulders all over the beach, all over, you know. So
yeah, some nice photos you posted.
It worked out for him. Thanks. Those, I think some were from the cat. I think those are from my cell phone, if I'm correct. But Tim Jackson, whose channel is that? Tim Jackson, you're going, oh, see, yes, please support Tim Jackson. And you know what's messed up, Tim Jackson? It just told me, and Tim Jackson is one of our biggest supporters. Now I know I had you subscribed, and I've had to resubscribe to you just now.
Really?
Yes.
I thought I did too, but now I just did. So
well,
now
they
I'm positive.
did do, now YouTube did do a purge. Okay, and what I mean by a purge is I was at 4,000 subscribers. I was over 4,000 subscribers. I can't break the 3,888, and it still says I'm minus 7.5. But one day it said I was minus 20 something, and Herman said, relax, they're doing their thing, and it went back up to minus 3 or whatever the number was. But it's a pain in the ass. You sure you want to get into this YouTube shit, Audley? Because you got to learn about analytics, and it's
so you get monetized. It doesn't matter. Just throw your stuff up there.
In order, hey, Big Matt, but in order to get monetized, you have to do it within a 1 year time frame. You need 4,000 watched hours, which in minutes is 240,000 minutes, and you need a minimum of 1,000 subscribers. So before you can do anything, and it doesn't happen overnight,
you're still subjected to the same copyright strikes and everything else that
sure.
Watch these places, watch these people on YouTube also, because they'll say my music is no copyright music, and once you become monetized, you start getting hit. You start getting hit with these copyright.
You get what you pay for.
Punches.
You will get that before you are monetized. You do not have to be
monetized. You get what you pay for.
You do.
So if you don't pay for it, you're going to get it in the wrong place.
Anyway,
Anyway,
you guys are like wondering, Justin's here, and Justin, hey JSK, what's up? Everybody support Digital Kite. Digital Kite, support everyone. Introduce yourself. Global Drone, what's good? Justin's here because there seemed to be a little bit of confusion as to why Justin wasn't around and things like that. And he thought it would be good that he came on and let everybody know what was happening in his life and why he wasn't here. So because questions are being asked, yo, did you kick Justin for Tom or you know, stop it. No, it's not any of that. It never happened like that.
I wouldn't be here if that was the case.
Life happened. That's what happened.
I wouldn't be here if that were the case.
So Justin, if you want to explain or go into it, you can. I'm gonna go get me a beer out the refrigerator. I'll be right back.
All right. So what's up, everyone? A lot of stuff I've been going through right now. Nothing bad, just first off, like my wife is getting a different job. A lot of changes. We're both getting new cars because it's been a couple of years before we had a new car, so we're both getting brand new cars, and at the same time, refinancing my mortgage on my house. A lot of redecorating, as you can see, everything looks different now. It's not the usual setup as before, as everyone could probably tell, but just a lot of stuff. Especially with my daughter. My daughter is actually, since we did 2 days home and the rest 3 days at school, but it's not really working because she doesn't have that teacher interaction. It's just basically on a computer all day long. And her grades is getting a little low, but we actually put her in school full time. Right now in my area of Valley Stream, she goes to Hewlett Woodman Middle School, And the COVID ratings, they've been very low in this area. Nothing's really spiked or anything like that. So I feel safer about that, have her in school full time, but it's actually improving. Her grades are getting really good, but it's not just her. A lot of kids that's doing the social distancing learning is pretty much they're having a hard time learning, which it's hard. It's hard on the teachers. It's hard on everyone, thing like that. So, and on top of that, we went from a 9 squad team at my job to 4, and even on this week, we got another guy that's going on vacation because he has to go on vacation. So next week, for the whole week, it's only gonna be 3 of us working at the car dealership. So sometimes I work till like 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night. So it's been a little fun ride. So that's pretty much why no one has really seen me. I've been doing stuff to my computer, and to do stuff to my computer, obviously I have to take down this whole system, drain it, even to change the memory, because one of the pipes goes behind the memory. So I would have to drain this whole system to even change pretty much anything on this. So that's pretty much it. Nothing else.
Yeah. So
Life runs away, right?
Yeah,
Right,
sometimes
runs away with time.
sometimes you gotta step away because you get caught up in doing stuff, and your family. Sometimes the wife feels
Priorities.
like stuff like that.
Yeah, priorities. Family comes first.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a given, man. That's a
Other,
given.
other than that, everything's the same. So.
Yeah,
Right.
my granddaughter, who's 13, is having the issues also, and
Yeah, there's a lot of kids having issues. But
she needs to be in that environment in order to learn. She was doing really good, and then with the distance learning, it really was difficult. I mean,
my daughter
yeah,
is good in math and science, and since this, her grades have been going down because she's not focused. You're at home, you don't want to do schoolwork. You want to run around and play with your phone or your.
It's hard. It's hard for kids today keeping focus.
You know what? And it's funny you guys say that, because my daughter, when she's in school, it kills me, because she has her tablet from school. She has her cell phone where she's communicating with a girlfriend, and then she's listening to YouTube videos. Now, the only reason that I allow this to happen is because she's doing good in school. Now, how do you tell a kid that's doing good in school? Oh, you should stop listening to YouTube, focus more.
Well, what I think, Lawrence, is you got to use the same attitude your wife uses with you.
Let me turn the speaker down. What?
She might hear you.
Just mute him.
That's right.
What?
Yeah. She doesn't need any more allies, Paul.
Thank you, Tom.
Just mute him.
She does quite fine, trust me, in lecturing me. But Justin, for the solder, and well, I just wanted Justin. Well, he suggested coming on, and there were just like questions. What happened to Justin? Is this going on? Did you replace him with Tom? So to avoid all of that, because if you don't give someone a story, they're going to create one. And we know this in the drone community.
And
Justin's an OG. Come on, Justin's an original.
FYI, Justin and I have been flying every weekend.
Oh yeah, and on top of that, my transmission exploded in my car.
We appreciate you, Justin, coming on and letting us know what was going on. And we know, there's always a spot here.
Oh yeah. Well, I know y'all saw it on Facebook. I was riding my bike to work because my transmission exploded in my car.
Oh yeah, that was another thing.
Had a hole in it.
So that was another thing.
Yeah. That was another.
That's why you get a new car.
Hey, Justin, or you got to go buy a couple of scratch-off tickets, one or the other, bro. Something's got to turn.
I mean, I bought a new transmission. My job did like a 50-50 with me, so I paid half for it. But I think I like the car because it's reliable. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, I had it since 2013, and that was the only major thing that happened to that car. But I still think it's time for a new car.
Well, okay. We're gonna get into like the first story. It's shortly after the first. It's shortly after. Well, I have 19 after 519. But I now that that's over with and out of the way, what I wanted to talk about was a little story that I found about what people think about drones. And there's a new study out that says
Shit's spying on me.
well, it's not a new study, it's been out for a while, but people have been
Somebody's watching you.
yeah, people don't know as much as they think they know about drones, and hopefully with this remote ID, they will. Because we were flying Sunday, and I wish they had remote ID and it was active because Justin to tell you, we were flying Sunday, and a Mavic
Yeah.
series came flying over our heads at top speed, just running down the boardwalk, which is, by the way, illegal to fly over people and stuff like that. But had there been remote ID, we would have knew where this guy was. So now he went in one direction over us, and we didn't see him again for maybe about 40 minutes. Then we're flying, and flying FPV, you're all over. You have 2 or 3 drones in the air doing tricks or flying or doing whatever they're doing. And then this guy comes by. Now the street lamps, I don't know what the height is of the street lamps on the beach, but they're pretty much standard. And he came flying over maybe about 10 feet over those with the landing light on, running straight down the boardwalk. So when he did come back, we followed him. Now, where we were flying, we're on a peninsula. There's nothing but peninsulas out here. We followed him out over the water, and he was literally flying from the other peninsula. So we had thought he was down the beach on the same beach with us, but we watched and watched. He didn't turn left, like back towards beach 20th, beach 9th, where we fly from. He kept going straight out across the water to the Atlantic Beach Peninsula. But with remote ID, we would have knew where that drone was going, and he would have probably knew that if we were in the area as well. But a lot of people see these drones flying over their heads and they go, "Oh, look, cool," and they don't give it a second thought. Sometimes most of them don't even know what a first responder's drone looks like. Nonetheless, and that's what this story is basically about. There's a place there's a Respond Drone project that helps the focus group that holds focus group discussions, held some in 6 different European countries, and they all have come to the conclusion that we need to educate people. And Tim Jackson, we need to educate people, and the best way to educate them is through firemen response. Help me out here, Tom.
The problem is, the basic problem is people don't understand the direct benefit to them,
Tim Jackson,
of using drones. Okay. So that's what it really comes down to, when you got to educate the public. All the public gets is the news feeds on this drone caused this problem, or a pilot thinks he saw a drone at 30,000 feet. Hey, that's the kind of stuff. Or this drone peeked in my window.
Hold on,
from 700 feet away.
Tom, really quick to intervene, because Matt put something in which is funny. He says, at DJI watches your live streams, Novice Quads. They put a questionnaire in their fly app.
You're right about that, Tom. And you know what? And what I've noticed in the last few years since I've picked up the hobby and started doing this, and all I have seen the FAA allow to happen is constant. You demonize drones.
Well,
for the hobbyists that are out there flying, and I understand. I understand that there's the issue approach of guys that are doing things. Yeah. I totally understand that.
I don't see it that way, Herman, only because I don't see the FAA. I don't see the FAA as the one who's been chasing down anybody and wrestling them to the ground. I really have not.
I totally
in most cases. And in most cases, we don't hear about it.
It's about what you allow.
it's about what the media spews out there about what happens. Okay. Now the
totally
FAA investigates everything.
Mhm.
Everything. So
Right.
the FAA reports that out because it's a requirement, general reporting requirements with the General Accounting Office for the U.S. Right. So you got to be transparent.
Mhm.
The media picks up on that and says, "Oh, they're investigating it. There's another guilty drone, rogue drone." No, it's not.
Totally
It's an
understand that.
investigation, right? So the real problem we have there is the type of education that gets out there. Unfortunately, is coming from the wrong sources. The FAA has to take a greater role in education, but there's other
Exactly.
groups too. So I'm a member of a group called the Drone Responders. Okay, it's a public safety organization.
Wait a minute. Wait,
Okay.
Paul,
Well,
somebody?
the one thing I want to add to your conversation is this.
Yeah.
I am envious that you guys in New York have figured out and are promoting the fact to have radios on where you can communicate with one another.
Yeah.
Well, that's been going on for a while, and there's a couple of guys here who put out videos.
I flew a ship yesterday, and I'm going to share it with you guys. Just the first beginning, and I didn't see it till after I saw it.
You didn't see it until after you got home.
All right, here we go. Ready? It enters from over here on the right. I have no idea who it was. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Another drone?
Yeah.
Now watch it. Shagoom.
What the hell?
That's a drone. There was somebody in a drone.
Yep. And I don't have a clue who it was or what their rating is. Do they just go get that at Best Buy, or what kind of drone? It was a black drone.
I can tell you right now that
we have the same issue here.
I can tell you right now that moved like a toy grade drone.
Yep.
Because it was very shaky upon stop.
Yep.
And if you play it back really quick, it may have been of a clone of a Mavic style. If you pause it for a second, and then we'll get back to what we were talking about. But
okay,
this goes to show how little the public knows about drones. And if this person knew anything about pause, well, it's going to come on the screen again.
See right there how it does that? Like
Look how close it was.
Trying to stop. Then he stops. Then it drops a little bit. And
it's not too stable. That's what I'm saying.
Looked pretty good to me.
Yeah, I thought.
What was he in sports mode?
Get out of bed.
Huh?
Yeah, I think he was in sport mode.
That's probably what it was. That's why that would account for the jerky movement.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
Any touch of the
it
sticks.
does look like a Mavic series, and that off gray, depending on the lighting angle, will make
it could have been in his look at the shadow, the dappling of light across the ship. So that the direction the light was hitting it. Yeah. Well, look, this is why there are bad stories about drones.
Right.
Okay. So this when we talk about education is
Mavic series
is key to letting people understand why what you need to do with them if you're going to fly it as a recreational, as an enthusiast. Okay, how they're used to save lives. I mean, DJI puts out stats on rescues with drones. Not that it's that accurate, because I believe it's underreported. Most departments don't report out their rescues to DJI. That's not something we do out of hand. But there are groups out there. I mean, the Drone Responders is a group of public safety individuals. Actually, they just teamed up with the ASTM. So this is a group renowned for transparent certification standards. ASTM is in the automotive industry. ASTM is in the scientific industry. ASTM is now in the UAS industry. So Drone Responders actually teamed up with them to come up with a transparent certification and replicable system for training public safety responders in the use of drones, and actually having public safety responders carry certification of use in this realm, which goes to professionalize it as well. And one of the goals there also is to educate the public. Just like we educate the public that we just had a time change here in the US. Why we still do
Right.
that, I don't know. But it's also a good time to remember to change your batteries and your smoke detectors and your carbon monoxide monitors. This has been a public safety announcement of your local fire department. So this is
honestly,
the kind of stuff that needs to get out there. You know, I
but
mean,
let me ask you
yeah.
a question. Honestly, how's that been working?
Well, it hasn't. It's at its infancy, Herman. It really is, because, you know, there's a lot of use of drones by public safety entities. In fact, this group, Drone Responders, puts out an annual report on the saturation of use. And especially since previously most agencies did not have an aviation entity, because that would have been a manned aviation entity, and that's cost prohibitive when it comes to sucking up your last budget dollars, right? Unless you're a big city or a state organization, you didn't have a manned aviation unit.
I get that.
Okay. So drones opened up the possibilities. Now, there's even stats out there that not all the public safety entities went down the right road with stuff. They're no different than anybody else. Okay. They're a cross section of the population. So
totally
you have
on all of that.
You have agencies who got COAs, or certificates of authorization, but you also got agencies that played it footloose and fancy free and didn't think they needed anything. And that came down to a lack of education. So it's got to start at the FAA level, and it's got to be carried out locally as well.
I agree.
And you got to change the public opinion. You got to get the media involved.
What I'm trying to say to you, what I've seen happening with drones right now is the same thing that happened with the taxi cabs here in New York. If you remember, yellow cabs used to be all over the city until they started getting robbed and killed in the outer boroughs. Yeah. And then they said, we're going to localize ourselves to Manhattan. And what happened? All of a sudden, cab companies out of everywhere and all of the outer boroughs showed up. Now, who was robbing these guys? The guys that wanted the jurisdiction? You see, whenever you want something, you'll always demonize something. So then now when you want the airspace, you got now all these local studies and all these focus groups and this, that, and the other to integrate airspace. So now everybody wants Amazon to come in and the next toilet tissue delivery and this, that, and the other. But when it was the hobbyists flying, oh, those are the worst things. He's spying in on my old grandmother and all this other thing. All this other nonsense because of a couple of
In order to get that bikini to be spied on, you got to go through Amazon. So you have a need there. There is a need.
Paul, you muted yourself.
His grandmother's wearing a bikini? Oh my God.
Oh, hey, Paul. Paul, there's all kinds, Paul. Okay? And Paul.
Hey, Tom, I just about fell out of my chair.
Paul. Don't out yourself, Paul. Okay? So, now, Paul, if you ordered the bikini, that's a different story. Okay?
Oh, hey.
So,
hey, Tim,
but we're
help
saying
us
that,
out here,
you know,
Tim.
because there's a need, there's a perceived need, it gets filled. Okay? You have the consumer who wants their product in less than a day. If you live in New York now, you're getting one day delivery if you're a Prime member. How much quicker do we want it? Okay?
I know.
So now they're talking about.
And Tom, if you live in Manhattan, you can order from Amazon and get it in less than 24 hours, depending on what the item is.
The point of what I'm getting at is
delivery on groceries.
The point of what I'm getting at is that why is it if I'm flying as a hobbyist, I'm a shithead, but the guy who wants to deliver for Amazon, we got all kind of focus groups to integrate him into the airspace.
Because there's a perceived need. Nobody has a perceived need for you to fly. Nobody has a perceived need for you to fly, Herman. They don't give two craps whether you're flying and enjoying yourself, but they want that pair of Bombas socks because they just saw them and they feel philanthropic that they're going to give a pair of socks to a homeless person. So good, I got my instant gratification because I got my socks in an hour. You know, that's the difference here. They're playing it where you want what they're selling, so you don't care how they're getting it to you. So all of a sudden, then drones become good.
I just find that I saw a lot of demonizing of drones, an allowance of the demonization of drones until the airspace was needed for the delivery of drones, or drone delivery. So now we
Yeah.
need focus groups to make them feel, oh, don't worry about it. They're nice and cuddly and they're cute.
No, it's more so. I see it this way. There's more so that there's a better understanding that drones can actually benefit society, and that's where it really comes down. And yeah, but it hasn't been perceived by the public. Look, here's something I tell. Yeah, they are. They can be. They can be.
They are cuddly.
They excite me. So, so the problem that you have is, and this is something I tell my team all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Someone else's perception becomes your reality. Okay.
Yeah.
The public's
Exactly right.
perception is somebody's spying on me. That becomes our cross to bear. So how do we bear it is the question. And the best way to bear it is to turn around and start to make props out of that wooden cross, so that you can do show and tell. So like we do, guys, I've seen each one of you take on a teaching role when we've been out there flying with John Q. Public.
That's
okay.
That's
and
true.
that's what we have to do as a society of drone enthusiasts. And I'm sorry, from time to time, we do have to critique others and say, hey, nice colors, but I don't think I would have flown that because of, but nobody wants to be drone police. I understand that. But if we don't police ourselves, what happens? Here we are, Herman. Somebody else is policing us, right? So again, there's a perceived need that we have to be regulated. So now somebody's going to come in and fill that need, because now that becomes our reality. So the best thing to do, I said, I think I said in a podcast we did a few weeks ago, I attended a seminar last year, pre-COVID, with the National Press Photographers Association, where we had public safety and the National Press Photographers Association, and all their lawyers, by the way, one of their lawyers was helped to represent that gentleman who flew over a certain island where they were doing mass burials.
Oh, get out of here.
So,
I remember that story.
We met to talk about perception and things like that because they're having the same problem. And now the news media wants to be able to use drones. It fits right into their business model, right? News gathering, content creation. Of course they want to use drones, just like we all want to use drones. And they have to fight with the perception within their own industry and the perception of the public, which is larger. Because remember, public perception then falls on the shoulders of the politicos, okay? And if somebody's complaining that you're watching me as I walk my dog, okay, in Central Park, then you'll never be able to put a drone up above Central Park. And by the way, you cannot fly above Central Park. Remember that, okay? No.
You can't fly in Central Park.
What's the sense of it all then? Why even bother buying a drone?
Man. I can't fly the Mini in there either?
Well, it's under 249 grams. So, you can't. No, you can't.
Hey, Tim Jackson, just to diverse in the subject a wee bit. Tim Jackson is from Australia, so I want to talk to him for a little bit, because I know in a matter of time, he may have a beer or two and find something else of interest to do.
And I'm in trouble now. His words by that point.
I'm in trouble now. It's only 8:30 a.m. here.
I was going to say a couple of beers in.
Yeah, but you're home today. Technically, you're supposed to be working. So usually,
Tim, he's got you waking up and drinking right away, bro.
Yeah, that sounds like the friends I used to have in America.
Sounds like much younger days.
That's what it is. What's wrong?
It sounds like Southern Jersey all over again.
Yeah, well, you got to start the day with a cup of coffee, and then you take it from there.
Oh, I can't drink during the week no more. So,
okay. What's good over there in Australia, man? How's you're actually going into spring, where we're hitting mid-fall or late fall now.
Summer almost.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Summer.
Well,
I just gotta say, I just gotta say, I mean, it's good to see Justin back, and man, he's looking all technology wise. Look at it, he has everything there. Like he got his 3D
That's the
printer, he got his
Enterprise.
Different room,
screens
right?
all over.
That's the Enterprise. He's got his 3D printer over there. He's got his liquid cooled
Jesus.
computer, which by the way, Justin does build towers because he built mine,
Yeah, I'm
which is
making a
liquid
fish
cooled,
tank.
and he built Herman's,
Making another one.
and Justin
If you
Phantom
look
Flight
right up-
101, Justin Phantom Flight 101, and I will be doing a Herman's PC build.
Nice.
Wait, I'm not doing shit. I'm just holding it down.
Hey Herman, you
What happened?
But Herman's
2006?
building
I'm
that
just
Pinky
in
in
for the
the brain, that Pinky in the brain take over the world supercomputer. Okay.
And
But
if you stay till the end, he'll put up a discount code on the screen, okay? For all future orders.
I'm with Justin.
Holy crap.
See, I need the other camera to do the other
See,
view.
now we know when you're looking
Uh-huh.
off to the right just a little bit, that's Amazon. And then looking off to the far right, you're editing video.
And over
Uh-huh.
there, what's that right there?
Oh, the
Oh,
little
you-
mini.
Oh Lord.
The mini
Well, did
too.
you
Of
Did you
course
get my
have that.
address
We knew
right?
You have that. You don't have to tell us.
did you get my address right, Paul?
Hey, ABQ, what's good, man?
I haven't even opened it yet. I don't know if I'm taking it back or keeping
Oh
it.
Lord.
He's getting
Buyer's
ready to
remorse.
ship it over here.
But anyway,
Tom, you're right. You're
Um,
right, Tom.
Buyer's
anyway,
remorse.
Because I
had
got
wanted
2
to-
drones on the same day. So
Here you go. I'll show
you
you.
got
I'll
two
see if I
drones.
can do
You
this.
flew 2 drones in the same day?
Oh, he
I got
No,
I
he
got
got
two drones
delivered
delivered.
two drones.
Hey, Justin, can
I'll
you
see
hear
if
me?
I can do this.
What you said?
When
There
we
you
get finished with that build, we going 49-inch double high.
Yeah, no.
I told him that today, Herman. He's like, why?
That's my setup.
Herman wants to take a 49-inch curved screen and stack them.
Oh, look
can't
at
imagine-
Tim's got a cockpit there too.
I see that.
I can't even imagine the screen that big. I'm happy with a
Let's see if I
27.
can do this. I can.
See, Tim Jackson's been holding out on us.
Yep.
He's been
That's my
holding.
rig.
Wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wait. I see some color. Nice.
That's his computer.
Nice.
That blew up.
The
What is
motherboard.
this? Everybody show your tower night?
Oh,
Yeah, show your tower day.
Nice.
Well, it could be a new electronic version of Show Me Yours.
I don't know if I'll
There you
participate.
go.
All right, here we go, Tom. Tom's time. Wait, hold on. Tom said,
Okay, I'm just
well, I might as well join in on the fun.
I'm just showing you that my studio with my ceiling mounted.
Oh, I'm jealous. I'm jealous.
Nice. Very, very
He's got a
nice.
ceiling mount and everything. Look at this.
So actually I got 3.
I see it. I see
So-
the background too. I'm jealous.
And I got the backdrop roller back there, which, by the way,
I
gentlemen,
see
is
the
going to
green
be
screen.
available at a very, very good price. Because I got to
William
move.
Shatner
So.
just got jealous.
You got 3 screens.
Yo, check
Oh
this
yeah,
out.
yeah. Well, whatever you
Lauren?
need, man.
Huh?
If you don't see me looking at the screen, is that I'm shopping on Amazon for a new studio.
There you go.
I'm going with a new chair,
You guys,
new backdrop, and everything.
Just don't get a chair like this one, Herman. No.
What's wrong with your chair?
Well, yeah, because
I mean, I got a chair with a footrest. I'm sorry. I don't care. Age is the ultimate equalizer, man. I got one with a footrest.
I've got two. I got 2 in my cart at Amazon. I'm trying to, weigh the issue.
Justin, how come like your computer looks like it's on a respirator?
Jesus,
That's
it is.
It didn't look like
It's water cooled.
I know it's water cooled, but it looks like it's breathing too.
Yeah,
Justin started building. He started building ventilators for Etsy.
Hey, I'm liking the studio tour, the digital kite. That's Audley. Number one key.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Get
I'm going to be moving, and now the problem is trying to get rid of all this stuff.
Okay, nice, Justin.
So-
Take it with you.
Do you have a light?
If you're looking to set up, I'm not going to set up an indoor studio out there anymore. So
Why?
that's a different time in my life.
Okay.
So I'm done with that
Hey.
aspect. That was portrait photography, boudoir lingerie,
Hey,
that kind
Herman,
of stuff.
Herman, you got to beat Lawrence over to his house and get what you want first.
See, Herman's going to be the first one with the 5,000 series when it comes out next month.
Yep.
He's going to make everybody
Gonna
salivate.
be. If you haven't heard me talking, Herman's been saying 5,000 for the last 3 days.
Oh,
You just look at him. He's not.
yeah, look at it. He's looking to his right. I already have it.
It's all pre-ordered.
It
Oh,
flew
man.
Friday and Saturday and today. That's good, Desmond.
I'm
How's the weather
trying to
over
get
there
my
on your
hands
side of the
on it.
world? But we have another story to talk about. We killed a little bit of time there, but I did.
Who?
Tim Jackson. I didn't know you was a nerd like that. But then you knew Star Trek tech talk, so I should have known.
I'm a nerd way back when.
Well, Tim also is a major supplier to the dollar store for printed ashtrays. That's where he gets all his money.
Or Thor's hammers too.
Thor hammers, the little hammers, right?
Yeah.
But his signature is they're all yellow.
What is
Everything
that?
he
Your
does prints
temperature?
yellow.
Your core temperature is 41 degrees Celsius. Okay.
If I
All right.
brought up the fan, let's see.
What's the fan on the CPU?
I just turned it up to max speed. It usually runs on a lower setting.
Okay.
But
All right.
everything
I got
is
mine on silent.
everything is overclocked on this, so that's why I got it.
Well,
Oh,
all I
that's
can
why.
say is
Yeah.
Justin takes his computer apart, and he was talking about, I got to drain it before I could take it apart. He takes his computer apart like some people change their underwear. I'm just saying.
He's got
I
to
didn't
drop
see
the
the
pan and
goldfish
drain the
swimming in
oil.
there.
Since I've known him, he's rebuilt his computer 3-4 times. He's like, well, I don't have a computer now. I'm like, why? Just because I took it apart. I was like, why? He said, because I wanted to.
Justin, that's starting to sound like a mental condition.
See what's on the desk there? That's all the wires that he left out. I don't know how it's running.
Those are the extra parts. You always get wound.
Those are the extra parts, correct.
Damn.
Hey, Daryl Hickman, how are you? I flew racing gates for the first time and also broke the arm on a Nazgul. Dude, I'm not ready for...
The arm on a Nazgul, not your arm. Good.
Yes, the arm on a Nazgul.
Okay. That means you're at least trying. Okay, good.
I'm not near ready for any type of gates or anything. I'm still trying to avoid trees and branches.
Yeah.
I don't need to I don't need to try and fly through stuff right now. I'm not at that level where I can fly through stuff and at 50, 60 miles an hour and not risk clipping. I need big spaces.
That's pretty good.
That's the temperature on the fan?
You see the temperature, right?
Yeah.
So this is the benefit of water cooler. I'm going to show you my computer. Look, there's no fans on right now. No fans on.
No fans on, and it's still cool.
That's what just the coolant running through the radiator is. It's stable at 39 degrees Celsius.
And when you cut the fans on, what does it drop to?
It might drop. It doesn't need to. It's already self-sustained. So.
Your graphics card is already waterproof.
Okay.
Yeah, the graphics card is
Your graphics.
waterproof.
You need to check your audio card, though.
So I'm using a freaking speaker on this camera.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, Justin, I have one question.
Camera there. This camera here.
That's the same one I got. That's a 922.
On the wall.
Yeah, but you get bored with that cooling system, Justin? Hint, hint.
Yeah.
To take it off. Because
I'm running.
Once you see Herman's cooling system, then that he's probably working on, it's a wrap. But I think Justin was having technical difficulties. His voice sounded like he was underwater. But anyway,
that's that camera. That's why.
Honestly, Lawrence, it would be nice if they would sponsor the damn build.
That would be good.
If
who would sponsor?
I'm going with all of their products. They might as well sponsor the damn build.
Yeah.
See, mine is a GTX Super, and it's water cooled. But
Oddly, majority of everyone in here flies camera drones. Just Justin and I are the only two FPV. That's why I was trying to give away some motors, some FPV motors on Night Train's channel, because to have a giveaway for FPV parts here would be a waste when everybody flies camera drones.
Nice.
I gotta,
You know, but I would say
studios, but
70% of the people that come to this live stream fly camera drones. Every now and then FPV heads do come through, you know, because I check out their channels, and I'm that's what I'm doing at the moment. But it's mostly camera drone people up
I'm
there.
a wannabe. I'm a
That's
wannabe
TPU, isn't
FPV
it?
pilot.
That's TPU.
Well, let me tell you, on this launch, if they come out with this 4-inch FPV bird,
You saw those
you
pictures,
might
right?
be interested. Did you see the video I sent you, Tom?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was not a leak, but if that's what they're looking at for the FPV drone, and you know what's funny, Tom? Do you still have that video?
I don't know
And
where it
if
is.
you
So
do, can you please send it back to me? Because hey, Centroid, what's up?
I thought you dropped it in a message.
I cannot find that video anymore.
Mark in the house.
What's up, Mark? How are you, man? Hope all is well on your side of New York. Mark lives upstate New York from us.
He's in Syracuse.
We're down in the city. We're city slickers, and Mark is up in
In
upstate
Syracuse.
New York.
You just said Cindy Slicker.
He's actually in Syracuse, which would be what the next
He said Cindy Slicker.
Yeah, city. Yeah, yes. Actually, Syracuse isn't that far from the 5 boroughs. It's really not.
Albany.
But what's going on? Long time no see, man. I hope all is well on your side. Are you doing the remote teaching thing up there? Because Mark is a teacher, a math teacher, if I'm correct.
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
John Donato, how
Syracuse
are you?
is a beautiful portion of New York. I mean, it's up by the Finger Lakes, and Finger Lakes had the highest concentration of waterfalls in the U.S. So
yeah. Is Mark up near
great
Binghamton and Irwin and Elmira?
No. He's further up. He's closer to Lake Ontario.
Ah,
okay.
Yeah, it's a decent little drive from the
and then west of him would be Rochester, and then west of Rochester would be Buffalo. And I
built all those areas when I was a linesman. I walked every pole up there.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a nice area.
That would explain the good.
Oneida Lake is up there. It's gorgeous up there.
You hear, Tim? We're gonna get back to the drone news, but that would explain the good sense of humor. You used to be a linesman, so
yeah, we had a good sense of humor, all right.
Do that shit. So we got to sit. I would like to hear some stories about that. Yes, you're doing the hybrid model of teaching. Yeah, I can see in your typing you don't sound too happy with that. I know
Lake
a lot
Ontario,
of teachers
20 minutes.
that are not. Yeah, he's about 20 minutes from Lake Ontario. He confirmed, Tom. Love flying north of the city. Anyway,
Erie Canal, baby.
The next story coming up is and a lot. Well, we kind of talked about it, which is the Mavic. Well, the Mavic Mini. For those of you who have invested in a Mavic Mini 2 and or still own the Mavic Mini, a lot of people don't know this, but if you are a 107 licensed pilot or a Part 107 pilot or a Part 91 pilot, you have to register your Mavic Mini if you're using it for recreation or work.
Yep. That's only if you're a Part 107 or over in Australia, you got your RPEL.
And in the UK and up in Canada, you have your specific regulation requirements. Look, if you use it in furtherance of business, doesn't matter whether you're getting paid for it or not, it's got to be registered.
Yeah.
Right.
Put landing gear on it, and it's got to be
if you put
registered.
anything over it, it passes the 250 mark. So
I put a variable ND filter on it, it's got to be registered. Put a skin on it, you might not need to, but
I'm just gonna roll out with remote ID because from what I understand with remote ID, And then what they're supposed to tell is supposed to let everyone know if that drone is registered, if he's a hobbyist, or is that a is he 107 pilot? This is going to fly and it's going to be in the sky in the same airspace, and people will see it, and it's going to come up as what?
Well, here's something.
Different class.
Here's something that
It's not going to come up.
I wanted to read directly from the article, and I'm just saying this because I know there are 107 pilots. I don't know anyone who's a Part 91, but I do know a few 107 pilots, and they're like, "Oh, I got the
Part 91 is general regulations, aviation regulations. Okay, well, so you wouldn't fall under that unless you're that really doesn't apply here. Although if you do fly under 91, of course, it's got to be registered.
Well, I thought this was interesting because it's highlighted. Any drone operated under Part 107 or Part 91 regulations does need to be registered. No matter how small it is. That includes the Mavic Mini or any other micro drone weighing under 250 grams.
It means an FPV drone. It means anything.
But then they try to be funny, Tom. After saying that, they go, the good news is that registering your drones can be done online. We know that. It takes less than 5 minutes. We know that.
And it costs you $5.
Costs $5.
Yeah.
Over here, that's totally wrong. We don't have to register it if we're just a hobbyist. Come March of next year, everybody will.
And Tim, you do not have to register the Mavic Mini if you're using it as an enthusiast, as a hobbyist.
Correct.
You do not have to register it.
Correct.
You do have to register it if you add accessories to it that place it over its current 241 grams.
I don't make money. I'm a hobbyist. I don't have to register it until next March.
Right. And then they'll have more broader regulations.
Well, I hope so, because some of these people don't even know how to fly, half of them. They don't know the rules. They don't know the 30-meter rule. They don't know anything. They're about...
Right.
My opinion is for the $5, why don't you just go ahead and damn it and register?
Yeah.
But that was what I was saying, Paul, because how does this play out with remote ID? You're in the same airspace.
Yep.
Yes.
How do you get a reading on this drone?
It's going to come up as NR. It's going to come up as NR, not registered, unless...
That's going to cause more of the panic that's been allowed, like I said before, it's been allowed to happen amongst the guys who are flying as hobbyists, and it's going to be more of the demonization of it. Why? Because I want to take over the airspace to allow commercial flight. Same difference.
I'm sorry. I'm going to have to take the opposing... I'm going to have to take the opposing view here. I'm going to tell you how I read it.
Yep, still to be registered. Mine is weathered for work, and yours is registered for work or not.
Right.
If you turn around and use this commercially for any reason whatsoever, I'm going to donate the video to my church. It doesn't matter.
Right.
That's in furtherance of business. Your church gets donations. They make money because of your video. You're still on the hook.
Yes.
So here's where the real issue comes in. If the drone is not registered, if the drone operates in an area without internet connectivity, that drone is going to get stuck in a bubble under UTM and remote ID. That's already pretty clear. It will be able to fly to 200 feet here and 600 feet there, and it won't go any further. And for most of the people who walked into, and we will stop villainizing Best Buy, okay, or giving them free advertising because they haven't sponsored you guys yet, okay, these people will be happy with that because they got to fly to 200 feet here and 600 feet there. They won't know the effing difference. But if you have a non-registered drone and you try to seek the authorization to fly it further, then you're going to come up on somebody's radar, okay?
Yeah.
Now, as far as it being not registered, it will come up accordingly. That's the serial number will come up as being a not registered drone.
Right.
So if it is being used in a nefarious manner, that will even be more of a hit on that drone operator. Okay. So look, it's all going to flesh out over time, and more of the product that gets released is going to be completely remote ID compliant. And we know DJI is doing everything under their power to limit their liability.
Yes.
So
and
don't kid yourself and think the Mavic Mini 2 doesn't have certain technologies in it that tell whoever needs to know who and what it is and where it came from.
Exactly. Now, for
because you think about it,
now
everyone's
answering
jumping the Mavic 1 for the 2, not realizing that, oh,
right, but
now I'm on somebody's radar.
You see what
Hey,
digital
so if you're looking to buy a Mavic 1, a Mavic Mini 1 to stay off the radar,
You see
okay?
what Brand Ariels wrote?
Yes, that's what I was
Eventually,
Exactly.
it'll happen.
That's the point of what I'm getting at. You know, and it's exactly what I'm saying to you is that we've seen it so many times with hobbyists and drones. We as hobbyists, the guys that are following the rules, pay for the few who don't do the right thing. And with all of the education in the world that we keep talking about, and I haven't seen the education to the public yet, only until when the talk now is to integrating drones into this airspace with commercial drones into the airspace. Yeah, in a minute, Paul. And now we're talking about the issue of these drones that are sub 250. And like I said, the only difference between that and what everybody else is flying is the whole registration is, but you're still flying in the same airspace.
Yes, absolutely. You're still flying in the same airspace, but you won't be able to fly in the same airspace. That's my point. If you have a non-registered drone,
right,
and you are operating that drone in
an
area where there's where you're not connecting to your phone, say you're not connecting to the internet. Mm-hmm. Now, DJI has already put it out there. If you're not connecting to the internet, you're going to get stuck in a flight bubble. You'll be able to fly this high and only that wide.
Someone answer
yeah, but they'll still be able to connect to the internet.
Is someone answer Digital Kite's question? Because
it's not going to happen, Audley. They're not going to retrofit older drones.
Right.
And I can't see the AMA standing idly by and saying, yeah, we're gonna modify everything going back. This historic historic product going back to the 40s and 30s, and you're not going to retrofit that stuff. No way. Nobody's signing up for that.
In fact, if you think about it, right now, your Mavic that you have, your Mavic series that you have now, Audley, already transmits its location and everything. It's an older technology, but it transmits. But they're talking into the future. Anything built after December 31st of this year and going into the new year, the Mavic Mini 2, all of this new stuff coming out, it's just a matter of firmware and activating it.
It's already activated when your phone allows location to go every time you
correct.
Turn your phone
right.
That's right, Tim. Which means you're giving off a broadcast bubble. And if anyone were to fly into that broadcast bubble, they would be able to identify
with their own smart controller. Yesterday, I was just over at Flushing RC trying to burn some batteries, and I turn around, I go to fly, right away it stops me, says I'm in an area. Okay, then I realize I'm not connected to my cell phone because I'm using the smart controller. I connect and I'm good to go. So it knows me. It knows everything about me at that point.
And they're going to get something eventually down the road.
That's what happens with the Mini right now. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Eventually down the road, they're going to have something. Controller. They're going to have something that'll disrupt. You know how when you're FPV, you're at whatever frequency, you get key a radio, drop. They're going to have something like that come out.
The smart control is not being used by Mini 2 pilots, okay? They're using their smartphone with the controller that came with the drone. 90% of the pilot, 90% of the customers who purchase a Mini 2 are going to use their phone. Bingo. They're connected. They know who you are. And you'll only be able to fly where you can fly.
Audley experienced this weekend. And Audley, I made an announcement earlier in the live stream that in New York City, if you do not have a cell phone signal, and they said this about remote ID and what they're going into. If you do not have a cell phone signal, you can still cut on the Wi-Fi to whatever device you have.
Right.
And that will create a smaller bubble, but you will still be identifiable. Now he wasn't able to fly because he was
in a restricted area also.
Where we were is the border, is the restricted area, but with authorization due to Lance or whatever they're using currently.
Michael Blade had a question in there.
What happens is you have to give your phone number, your identification, your location, and through all of this, you're giving access to fly, along with agreeing that you will be responsible. And you have to click that I agree that I will be responsible in this area, because we were in one area where the ceiling was 400 and we went to a second spot and he was like, I have a 200-foot limit here because the ceiling in that particular section of Lance was a 200-foot ceiling.
It must have been a helicopter pad around somewhere.
No.
No, you got a Class B airport.
It depends on where you are.
One of the largest in the world.
Right. It depends on where you are, and restricted but permissible. Exactly, Audley.
That's the same over here with landing pad. If you have a helicopter area, you do. But if you hear it in the air, you got to bring it down. Which
over there where you're at. Well, see, along the peninsula where I live, there's 8 miles of beach. And what happens is
private planes
flying. We are west of the Hamptons. You're familiar with the Hamptons?
Yeah.
Okay, we're west of the Hamptons. So you have rich guys flying their privately built helicopters, custom helicopters, corporate helicopters, Cessnas along the coast. Now, you are allowed to fly. Now, correct me, Tom, because I'm not an airplane pilot, but from what I researched, I did find out you are allowed to fly along the coast, provided you're at a certain altitude and you're over the water. But a lot of these guys,
in order to transit from, say, Republic, taking off out of Republic and coming along the South Shore, headed towards the Jersey Shore, I have to drop below 500 feet. Okay, until I get past, because the shelf for Class B.
Yes.
Otherwise, I have to transit through Class B, which means I got to contact, ATC.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I get you.
Now, that plane that was flying over the beach had to be at least 200.
Yeah, but these guys, Tom, are 150, 200 feet over the sand.
Absolutely, it's
and
allowed.
That is
it's
considered
allowed.
illegal. The only ones that I know.
No, it's not. It's not illegal over the water. It is not illegal.
No, over the water it's not illegal, but over the land,
well, the definition of what the land is on the chart versus what the land is you're standing on might be a little different. But hey, you gotta fly below the shelf, okay? Plain and simple. And if you're flying a 172 out of Republic, the last thing you want to do is get yourself trapped up with ATC trying to come through Class B airspace and get your approvals, because that's going to be a cluster.
Well, the point I was making about
it. Hold on 1 second. I want to answer. Michael Blade had asked, does he have to register as a recreational pilot? Do you have to register each of your drones individually? No, you don't. You have to register, and then you have to mark each drone with that number. If you're flying commercially and you're flying on a 107, every aircraft has to be individually registered.
Yes.
Okay.
Everyone has to be registered and have its own separate number and flight log book to go along with it.
Oh, okay. Shit.
And it makes a lot of sense.
Electronic logs do meet the requirements, and it's more important that you meet the requirements of your individual insurance carrier, okay? Because they're the ones that are going to pick your ass up out of any problem. So just make sure you get that end of it right.
This is why I like air data.
Yeah. Now for those.
Air data is good. I mean, a lot of them out there. Skywatch IO there's a lot of good ones out there. And you can do a lot of insurance on demand also. And by the way, recreational pilots, FYI, just letting you know, if you think you're going to fly in an area where you might have some difficulties, not saying it's not legal to fly where you're flying, but you want to insure your drone or insure yourself against liability. There are the on-demand insurance companies that cover commercial pilots now also cover recreational pilots as well. Verifly's been out there for a while, yes, and also is now a New York State registered insurance carrier. So
I think they're
just make sure in your check. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
just make sure in your check that whatever on-demand insurance carrier you get, make sure they're licensed to operate in your state as an insurance carrier. Or when it comes time to file a claim, you might not be in a good place.
Over here, it'll probably be a nationwide thing. We don't.
Yeah, in all likelihood, Tim. Yeah. In most countries, it's nationwide. Yeah, but see here. Remember, Tim, we call this the United States. We call this the United States of America.
Really? Is that what it's called? Hold on, let me check my birth certificate.
But that's a fantasy. Okay? That's a fantasy. This should be called the 50 states that we can't agree to anything of America.
You're right.
Okay? So
you're right.
That political announcement, go ahead with your
That's right.
He just said,
I couldn't get away. I might be on a timeout next.
He just said 50 states. Last time I checked, wasn't there 52? Maybe a little bit more.
No,
they don't count them yet.
I guess some don't deserve.
One's not sure they want to join, and one keeps on missing the invitation to the party.
Okay, borderline politics. Go ahead.
Hey, Tim, one of the things I was trying to say to you, Tim, is that we're talking about like 107 and stuff like that, and guys don't take this into consideration. You know, we talk about keeping record and maintenance and this, that, but maintenance is one of the most important things that guys don't understand.
Yes.
And if DJI does not have a maintenance book that comes with this drone is to tell you when you should do this or when you should do that after X amount of flights and this, that, except for with the batteries. That is the only thing that they do say, that after 20 charges to the battery, you should do a deep cycle discharge after every 20 charges. Now, that's the only thing that they mentioned. But other than that, as far as the drone and the propellers and things like that, as a pilot, as a 107 pilot, you got to keep a record of those things too. And those are some of the things that guys don't mention.
They don't.
Yeah, we have on the job. We have a maintenance application.
I like doing maintenance. Actually, it gives me sound of mind. So.
Well, it depends. I mean, everybody should be doing a safety check before they take off. Okay. These are things, man, people take them out of the bag and throw them up in the air as quickly as they can.
Hey, Roger, what's good?
But if you don't,
scares me, Tom, because
it scares me because people don't change their return to home altitude.
You know what, okay? Herman will tell you, and you have to have noticed this about Herman, no matter what meetup we go to, no matter where we fly, he's the last one up in the air.
Because if I had to get that shot when I was pulling into the parking lot, I was late. I was late.
You missed it already. And so many people
and I don't like the verbiage. I don't like that verbiage of how fast I can get up in the sky. I don't like that. Because
you don't need it. That's not what it's about.
We have pre-flight checklists and stuff like that.
Hey, Tom, Audley wants to know the maintenance app.
Oh, it's part of a much larger application. We're a Verizon client, so we're using one of their public safety products right now. We're beta testing with them. It's basically a Skyward. That's the subsidiary. So we have pilot management, we got aircraft maintenance in there, we have all the training logs, and we have the archive video logs in there as well.
I mean, you could probably get for recreational drone pilots.
Yeah, if you go to Mavic, mavicpilots.com or phantompilots.com, any of the forums there's a lot of individuals who have put up safety checklists, pre-flights and post-flight checklists. Those, I think, are probably the most important things recreational flyers can do, is have a checklist, get used to it. Just watch some aviation videos, just watch some private pilots flying. It always starts the same way. You're doing your pre-flight. You're grabbing that little flip chart out of the visor.
Every time you take
you're
up,
taking off, you're checking everything.
Yeah, from the moment you get to the location.
What happened?
Here's the difference. Here's the difference.
Tim froze up for a second. He went.
Yeah,
I'm getting into an aircraft. Okay, my rear end is getting into that aircraft. Okay, there isn't a time that prop spins without going through the entirety of your pre-flights. Okay, and there's not just one pre-flight; it's for each stage of pre-flight. Okay, you go through each one
every
methodically.
time you put a drone up. Every time
well,
you put
you
a drone
should
up,
be doing. Here's why
flight.
it doesn't get. Yeah,
you got it.
But here's why it doesn't get done for drones. You ain't putting your ass in that drone. Okay,
right?
So it becomes real casual.
Yep.
It becomes very
and
casual.
I want to tell you, we here in New York City know,
and that's when disaster
you
strikes.
take off with a drone really quick because we all know who the drone man. There's only one guy in New York City who's on 4 drones in a period of 6 months.
It's your buddy.
Okay. And I'm just saying we're not going to mention names, but I'm going to be nice about it. But if you're in a rush to get your drone in the air so fast that you're shaking before me, there's something wrong with that. There's something wrong with it.
First and foremost, if you're not setting your return to home altitude based upon the changing conditions of the environment, meaning you flew over here today, it's not the same as where you're flying over here yesterday.
Exactly.
So, if you're not doing that, you're not being responsible. Okay?
Yep.
And if you don't get your drone back as a result, shame on you. Okay? But if you do damage to somebody else's property because you didn't set your return to home altitude properly, okay? I'm pretty sure when they scan the barcode to buy that Mavic Mini 2 at Best Buy, it's hooked up with a credit card someplace.
Yeah, with your
so when you wind up going through somebody's patio window and they file a police report, I'm pretty damn sure there's somewhere along the line something's going to match up.
That happened to a tourist over this.
Yes.
I don't know if it was this summer or last year.
No, last year.
The one who hit the 55-story window.
Yeah. He flying out of his own hotel.
He was a drone pilot.
Yeah, he flew out of his own hotel window.
He was told while doing research that you could not fly in New York City, and then he came to New York City and saw that people were flying drones, and he went to the TI store to purchase a drone, and he took it up in Manhattan, and he went through a 55-story window. 55.
Oh,
yeah.
Now he went in to go. He did the right thing, and it was on the weekend. The office was closed. He went in on that Monday to go ask how he could pay for the window and claim the drone. And the police
try to claim the drone.
Police were there to arrest him.
And we all remember the famous Herman video that nearly dropped me out. And
when Herman became a track star,
crap out of me. Yeah, when that thing just.
And I feel sorry. Herman was running back and forth. That drone was.
Had you been able to look down at the ground, you
Lawrence,
saw out of smoke, and that was Herman.
Lawrence, I think I showed you and Herman a video I had shot along the East River one early morning. But that video I promised to share once I actually get my first retirement check from the job. Okay. I'll share that video. Okay, because I believe the statute of limitations is over by that period in time. Okay, so. But
I hear you, Tom.
Yeah.
I hear you.
But you know what? The other thing is, think about this. Here's another classic mistake people make, especially if you're flying near the waterfront, is we all like that shot when you first take up and you strafe the ground as you take it up in sports mode, right? That's a great shot. But the way I do it is I'm very methodical. You'll see me, I take off and I just hover there for a few minutes. I want to make sure that sexy voice comes across and says, home point. The home point has been recorded.
Did you just say sexy voice?
Yes. You don't get the sexy voice in yours? I mean, hey, look, I'm getting old, dude.
Hey, Tom,
whoever's talking to me, I'm enjoying it at this point, okay?
Tom, I got a funny joke to you about that one. When I first flew my drone, the first time I took off with it, I had the earpiece connected to the tablet. And I never knew that thing was going to come, that voice and everything.
It's going to talk to you. Yeah.
I was like, damn, how the fuck does it know where I'm at? I'm like looking all over the place. I'm like,
yeah, but home point is another important aspect of your pre-flight, because after you take off, wait a minute,
don't have a home point, you get what you deserve.
Well, guess what? When you strafe out towards the water and about 20, 30 feet out over the water, then you hear home point
has been locked.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So guess where she's coming back home to when your battery runs dry. Okay.
You're right
where you are.
Yes. Yes.
You're right about that though, Tom. It's a lot of people don't take the time out.
They don't pay attention to their batteries. They don't pay attention.
Check this out. I got a story. We did a story this story has to go with the story we did a couple of weeks back. Herman did it on Wednesday nights with those guys about how if you're in certain state and federal parks, if you're in certain parks around the United States, that eagle that you look up and see, or that hawk that you look up and see, may not be a real hawk. Okay, and I found this article that says a hawk-inspired robot with movable wings. Now, this thing is the first, they call it a robot. It's a drone to me because it has a propeller on the nose and it's quiet. But this thing can pull negative G's like the actual hawk. They modeled it after, meaning it can reverse direction at any time and point in the air, just like this particular hawk. They modeled it after. Now, what's the name of this? What's the name of the speaking hawk? Where the hell is it? I had it. Goshawk. It's a northern goshawk that can literally dive at top speed and go inverted, flip, brake, do whatever it can like a fighter plane. And now this is this particular hawk. I like this story because it has a video. It shows you. I'm going to show you the video. But this hawk doesn't flap its wings. It only flaps its wings for takeoff. While flying and maneuvering in the air, it flexes its feather tips. It inverts them. It pulls them in. Anyway, you'll see in the video.
Wow.
It makes for interesting
hey, Lawrence,
footage.
It sounds like you're experiencing a little bit of FPV envy from the hawk.
Well, you know what?
We're gonna get him.
Yeah,
come on.
First time I saw something
here it
like
is.
this.
But this is it. This is it right here. And what I like, there was a problem loading the content error code. Hold on, let me refresh this page. Maybe that's what it was. It was on the
Now
page.
we might not be able to get Lawrence's own robotic hawk, but I'm pretty sure if we chip in, we can get a few pigeons.
Check this out. Now this is the only bird that does. This is the actual drone. This is a model working version without the propeller on top. But this bird literally flies by just making these movements. It does not flap its wings. This Gossin hawk or whatever it is this model is modeled exactly behind it. So the way that the wings, the rudder and everything turns, this bird does this. Now it's going to do a negative G flip. You see this here? The way it pulls in these feathers here, keeps these out.
You'd be surprised how many times birds do that.
Causes it to turn on a dime.
Well, there's only one problem with that. There's certain months that you can't send that drone up because of mating season.
You know what, Tim? You might be right about that.
It's Tim. It's one and done, baby.
Tim, but it's electric, so you might cause a lot of birds to start fighting over.
Somebody goes, "Wow, I got some charge out of that one."
Anyway, for those,
back for more.
It might come back.
That was a good one. We're going back and getting that one.
But I put the link there. It's a nice little readings. It's a nice little story. But the fact that we had did a story prior to this, Herman had did it on Wednesday nights with those guys about how they're using these hawks to do surveillance and stuff like that. Because you look up, you see it floating around, and at a far enough distance, you can't tell there's a tiny propeller on it. You can't tell that it's not real.
They've been using these type of things for a lot of things, like even for, for testing water and air and all kind of things. They use these these drones for. We talked about even the little batteries.
But
using in some of them.
may be a little right. The fact that it flies as agile as an FPV drone makes it feel interesting. Prospects for the future, and the whole thing is made out of styrofoam.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. The whole thing is made out of styrofoam and a certain type of paper. That a little. The article's there. Read the damn article. Okay. All right. I don't know. I can't talk today. I'm frazzled from earlier today. I didn't have my old man nap. What happens is when Justin will tell you, when we go out flying FPV, I'm so amped up, the adrenaline's running. It's like being on caffeine or caffeine or something, or Red Bull. And then I come home and I sit down in a chair and I'm ready to pass out. I used to get that from flying camera drones. Now flying camera drones is just like, okay.
That's it. He's officially done.
Moving at 50, 60 miles an hour, 70 miles an hour.
You've heard that.
You're diving through a tree. You're diving through and under a tree, and you come out of it. The heart relaxes again.
You heard that? He's officially done with the camera drones. He's finished.
Oh, no, you won't. No, you.
He's not. He's not.
It's not. We got to start planning. We got to start planning the funeral.
No, I'm not, because I already planned on taking. Help me out here, too.
He'll be back. Yeah, he will.
I'm sad to say that I own no camera drones at the present moment.
Justin
really? Did lost you a while back.
But I do plan on getting something.
This is what you need.
Mavic Air 2.
I know that's what I should get that.
That's a great drone, man. I am so impressed with it.
Tim, I
so impressed.
Want the Mavic Air 2, but the way my life goes, and you know who Murphy is, right? Murphy's Law. There's a lot of great.
It always happens.
He has a lot of great laughs at my expense. As soon as I put $1 down on that Mavic 2, they're gonna fucking come out with something, and I'm gonna.
You have the Mavic Air 3. I heard the Mini 3 is coming out with the flux capacitor 2.0.
2.0 version, right?
Yeah.
Now, Paul, you've been quiet all night. I've been meaning to ask you this.
Now, how many skids of minis?
I want to put him on a spot because this is being recorded.
So what else?
I want to put him on a spot. Paul, is this the last Inspire one that you're going to buy? And if you can't answer,
he's like, I probably so I should return the order that I just made.
You never,
Tim.
Never say never.
Well, the reason I'm asking is because you seem to be really happy with this one. And
until
it's bothering me to know how many Inspire ones go in and out your door like a revolving door. Yeah,
we're gonna call him Best Buy Part 2.
I'm just
you're in the market for a used drone. Look up Paul Murray.
Five Inspire 1s, 2 Inspire 2s.
Well, I'm only asking because if you decide to get rid of this Inspire 1, and I know it's coming, keep me in mind.
Okay. The bet is Roger says 6 weeks. So somebody else said 3 weeks.
I say 4.
Hey Tim, how's it go? If you're in the market for a used drone, look up Paul Murray. He's got the used drone lot over on
Fort Huron, Michigan.
And the prices are crazy.
Everything's got to go. Us go. Sales are going on daily.
Yes.
Hey, Curtis,
Paul, good, you would have been the salesman to be standing next to Crazy Eddie. Back in the day.
That's the thing I still remember, Crazy Eddie.
Those of you who
they chased his ass down all the way back to Israel and brought him back and prosecuted him.
Yeah, that's
his deals were to too crazy.
Yeah,
Yep.
they were.
If
Hey,
you
so,
don't know who crazy
He
Eddie
just
is,
stopped paying his bills. He sold everything.
Being slashed.
Yeah, he sold everything, but he never paid his suppliers.
and you know what? It was funny, Tom, because he's we're opening another store right here on so and so. They make sales at the store, and then you go back, the store ain't there no more.
And then the Wiz followed right behind them with the same nonsense. And what happened to them?
Yeah. Hey,
Hey,
New
so,
York
Paul,
Gold,
can you-
welcome to
Best
Sunday
Buy,
Nights
Best
with
Buy
those
took
guys.
the Wiz out of
And does anyone have
the game.
issues with the Mavic Mini
I
update
thought they
version
took themselves out of the game with
1.2.0?
that nonsense they were doing.
I don't know. That just came out. I heard that.
It just came out. I haven't even tried it yet.
Can you put up your FC link, Paul?
Paul,
Huh?
your FC link for all the shit you sell.
It's Bitcoins, buddy. Bitcoins.
I got some of that.
Oh, he's balling. He's balling.
He's got a lot. You got to go over there and check it out.
Tim does Bitcoin.
See, that's what I really thought Justin was up to. I thought he was building a Bitcoin farm.
Bitcoin server.
Okay.
no.
Yeah, I thought he
Bitcoin
was doing
miner.
some mining in the background with all those GPUs, water cooled GPUs.
Yeah.
Okay. The only problem is if you get your power from Con Edison in New York, it actually would cost you 300% of what you would make in Bitcoin. Okay, that's the problem.
No, unfortunately, New York Gold. I don't own a Mavic Mini. I usually I talk about them. I call them tie clips because they're as big enough to put on your tie. But I know people who own them, and I know people who are happy.
I haven't tried it yet, so
I know.
yeah, I don't know when to.
Tom, please.
Yeah.
You take a Christmas picture with the Christmas tie and clip your Mini to it. I'll hang it on.
Hey, Mini was a little beast. One of my videos on my site
Nice
showed me
little
flying it in 20
Drone
mile an
pool,
hour
what's
winds
good?
on Coney Island Beach.
No, you don't get on the mini, Lawrence.
He says
Get on the Mini.
update drone pool.
I'm gonna go by the bridge when I get one and fly it over to your house.
Yeah.
That's funny. Herman
still
and I,
got
when I
mine.
first met Herman, we used to fly in the park where I learned to fly. That's wow. See the tie clip.
Tie clip.
You got a big tie.
There you go. See,
You got a large neck.
well, anyway,
Yeah,
I thought that Hawk story was interesting. That I just ran across it, and I'm like, wait a minute, Herman did a story about this.
There you go.
They have a
There you
whole
go.
article here on
You
it.
just go.
Tim's got his
Yeah,
little
there he goes.
thing here.
You
That's
put it
how
on a
you fly
chain
through? That's
like
how
an
you
OG.
Yeah. You can whip that right out of your pants, Tim.
What?
Wait. The problem is anybody recording this Zoom?
Uh-oh.
Unfortunately, you.
There we go. We just got a sound bite from Paul. We'll be able to use for future drops. By the way.
Right.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Still
All
got
right.
the SD card in this puppy.
Well, we got like 28 minutes left.
So let me ask a question. Anybody have a favorite site, a favorite YouTube channel they've been watching lately? That you want to share with the group? There's a lot of great content out there. Anything you guys been watching?
I mean, other than mine, I mean, you guys.
Yeah, I watch mine every morning, evening, and right before I go to bed. No.
Well,
I've been
I don't
watching-
have a particular favorite one because I'm always searching for different stuff. But
Yeah,
I get
there's
so
a
many
site-
alerts. I get so many
There's-
alerts from people that I'm subscribed to that keeps me entertained for at least an hour in the morning alone while I'm listening to the morning news.
There's
you
a
get people-
site I would recommend. Flight Test for those of you who've never watched it.
Oh,
These guys are
great.
these guys are hysterical.
They
Get a
build
big kick
everything.
out of them.
Yes, Tim Jackson. Are you familiar with them?
Flight Test is
check
great.
those guys out,
Flight
man.
Test.
Okay. Soon,
YouTube.
I'm pretty sure Justin's going to have one of those foam cutting machines in
who
his.
was
They're called.
I was thinking about
Flight
it.
Test.
Yeah, I'm gonna post. I'll post
Yeah,
the
I
link.
couldn't hear it.
Yeah,
Okay.
those are nice though, Justin. If you're thinking about getting one,
Yeah, Tim Jackson. It's a great channel called Flight Test.
Then you
They
can
build things like they build a flying Millennium Falcon out of Sky.
And they've, you know, but I'll tell you guys, if you're into FPV drones, watch them record the work. Watch them as they're flying in the air. They always have somebody up.
Yes,
that's flying them with FPV, and I'll tell you, pretty high on the skill side.
New York Gold says he's a Factor fan.
There you go, Drone X Factor. Yep.
Yeah. All right.
He's a
Drone fan. Citizens Action Group. Yeah, Citizen Task Force.
Yes.
Ooh, that one dropped like a mug, right?
But seriously, Tim Jackson, these guys,
we love everybody here.
These guys,
we do. X is a hustler, man. X has some great content up there.
I just subscribed to it, so yeah.
Yeah, flight test. Just the enthusiasm of these guys. Also,
they have a lot of fun doing what they're doing.
They turned around. They bought themselves. They bought themselves a golf course.
Are you serious?
Okay. Yeah, and they now own a golf course, and that's where they built their. You know, they use the clubhouse is where they build everything, and then they go out and they fly it on the golf course. I mean, you can't get a better spot, right?
No, you can't.
But they do some funny stuff.
Oh, we know the New York Gold. Where are you from? We know X Drone Factor. He's from Flushing.
Yeah,
we all flown with him. We know him personally.
Actually. Absolutely.
Yes.
That Millennium Falcon is dope. I like that. That's
cool. You got to see.
And they actually built an F-18 Hornet out of cardboard.
Oh, they've done tanks.
Yes.
With A-10 warthogs attacking them. Okay. And then they have guys on the sidelines with paintball guns try to shoot them out of the sky. I mean, you'll laugh. You'll laugh. It's always a good time with these guys. And then they sell everything they make.
Yes.
They have either plans, you can just get the plans and build yourself.
Yes.
Or you can buy their home foam.
You can get the schematic.
Kit.
Local guy. I'm from Brooklyn, near Sheepshead. See, we were just
baby, rolling roaster, baby.
We're just in Kaiser Park earlier today.
Just to give you an idea of how big my plane is that I'm building.
Yes. You see this fixed wing?
Holy crap!
Yes.
Look at the size of that.
Dual engine, and you can't fly that in a local park.
No, I don't reckon that. Where did that kid go? He grabbed onto the wing and took off. Yeah, I'll be right back, guys.
Yes, sir.
New York Gold, I just subbed your channel.
Was it 110?
Yeah, support each other's channel. Digital Kite.
Absolutely.
New York Gold is new to the live stream. His first time here. This is my first time seeing him here, so. I'm going to go check out your channel. I will support your channel, NYGOLD. Let's see what comes up here. Here's the logo. He's from Sheepshead. Herman's in Brooklyn. I'm in Queens. Tom is where?
Queens.
In Queens. Paul, Michigan. Oh, Justin is in he's a Long Island guy. Drone Evolution.
What kind of content you have up there in New York, Cole?
Check out his channel. Let me see here.
I see fish.
I see a lot of fish stuff. I'm wondering if I got the right New York Gold.
I will support your channel. I'm clicking that support now.
Okay.
And if you don't come back every other week, we don't say weekly, but if you don't come back every other week, I'm going to unsubscribe. No, I'm lying. I'm not. I'm playing, dude. Seriously. But it's not boring. If you have content to put on YouTube, it's not boring. If you find it deemable to put on YouTube, somebody somewhere watches
this channel right there.
Hey Herman, maybe we'll do a live stream one night on how to improve your channel. Give a few tips and stuff. That would be nice.
I'm trying to improve my channel. I mean,
so
consistency is the only thing I can.
It is. That's the key word.
Yeah, just trying to get. Look,
that in the title
for a lot of different reasons.
Yes.
I just want to get content up. That's all.
Justin, what the hell is that? Who's shaving themselves? Cut that off.
Commercial.
Oh, it was a razor. I see a guy shaving himself. I'm like, what the hell?
That's the kind of commercials you got on your.
Oh, wait a minute, guys.
Dude,
I passed that half-minute mark, and a few of you are about to experience a commercial. Please stand by.
Well, Justin already had it, so the commercial.
I just inserted. Oh, Justin had the commercial already. That's good. Well, for the ones
but he's shaving their belly.
Those of you who have not gotten a commercial, I just inserted one. Usually people, it's something new that they're doing on YouTube for people who have live streams. And
but I have to block this channel. My ad was completely inappropriate.
Was it a manscaping?
Yeah,
I just don't want to say. You might know what I was looking at last.
All I can say is I apologize if you had to. If I had to throw the commercial in. Usually I do it at 6 o'clock. When Paul did the drop thing, I was supposed to do it then. But that's just a way to help monetize stations.
We was in the middle of a discussion.
Make pennies off the penny. If you get that.
Well, I think that you and Herman ought to get together and do a short, like a 20-minute clip of your own commercial, and then you just play it. You could do it as a jingle or however you want to do it.
Those guys.
Tom.
Yes.
You've noticed since you've known Paul, he's great at suggesting things. He uses that Jedi mind trick shit. You will come on at 5 p.m. He'll say, no, I'm not. And he'll go, you'll be on at 5 p.m.
You know what?
Paul's the shill with 3-card Monty out in Times Square saying, pick the middle card. I think it's the middle card.
You know what, though, Lawrence? He's more, I see it more so happen and work with Roger. When Roger will be on he says he's getting off a Paul ago.
I know. It works.
Paul,
later. He's got Roger in his pocket.
Yeah, Paul, you understand this good karma, bad karma thing, right? You do understand it, right? Then that explains, the skunks. I'm just saying. That explains the skunks. Okay?
All those drones in his living room.
For those of you that don't know, Paul is breeding skunks on his property.
Right,
but he's not personally, but they're out there.
Yes, well, they've determined.
I'm not personally mounting them or anything. No.
Paul's riding the skunk again.
Well, that would be some unique content, Paul. I would say that would go viral, Paul.
You know, is that what you're doing when you say, "Oh, I got to give the squirrel some nuts"?
You can't get that smell off your winky, you know.
Stop. I don't even want to know, seriously. Okay. I'm just saying, the views and opinions that are heard tonight are not necessarily the views and opinions of everyone on the panel tonight. Especially
you see, I went right for the earbud and muted everything. I don't know if I got it in time.
Especially on the panel.
Squirrel some nuts.
I would say we went down a rabbit hole here.
See, Tom, this is why we need to keep news until the end of the stream, because then we go squirrel. I mean, it's okay to go squirrel. Oh, see, these were the cranes that we were flying on the beach, Tom.
Yeah, if anyone's around here that can get to those front end loaders, it's a pretty amazing sight to see.
There's 4 of them lined up, and you know how the jetties are around New York. You know they're very large. The rocks are really big, but this thing was picking them up and tossed. The guy was showing off with it because I was flying around them. The Army Corps of Engineers, my first day there, said you can fly there as long as you don't go under his arm and obstruct him from doing what he's doing. And this guy was picking up boulders. He saw me trying to hover there, and he just picked up a boulder and swung the crane and threw the boulder, and it rolled and tumbled. And he just started doing it repeatedly after, move forward.
Robert.
Nobody moved. I've dropped.
You know what, though, Lawrence? When I first saw the footage you were showing me about that, I was
Jackson,
hoping
help us.
you didn't run into one of the boulders when he started swinging around.
What's that, Herman?
When you first showed me the footage.
Oh.
I was hoping that you didn't tell me when you were telling me you were out there. I hope you didn't run in. I was hoping you didn't run into anything.
Yeah.
And hit one of those things as he swung around.
Yo, it was not easy, but because of 50-mile-per-hour winds. Geeks Vana, Sean. Tuesday morning, you and I, Sean, I may be late, but I do have it in memory. On a Tuesday, we were supposed to meet and discuss some OBS tech and stuff like that. Now, I seem to think that I forgot it last Tuesday, so I'm going to act like it's really this Tuesday that we're supposed to do it. So let me know what your time schedule is, Sean. Seriously. Okay, I would appreciate it. Robert, where's Robert? I see Rojo in here.
Yeah, he's in.
Hey, what's up, Robert? What the hell did I just jump in? See Roger? I mean, Robert, that's how I know you're here, because then the conversation goes astray, especially with Paul. But we got like 15 minutes left. We can kill it at 10 minutes too, or we can keep going. Is anyone coming on tonight?
I'm a saint.
Well, Paul was.
You've heard of St. Paul, haven't you? That's me.
Live after this.
Paul was trying to urge Roger to go live.
Oh, you're going live after me?
I don't think Roger needs encouragement.
Roger's going.
What's up, Sean? How are you, Sean?
Val was.
Roger covers for Val.
Oh, so Roger's going live tonight after the live.
Yes. Yep.
You know, you guys.
Right, Roger.
You guys are just online too damn much. Jackson RC, how are you, man?
So
back home from a weekend.
So if I have a problem with YouTube, do I send it to you or to Roger?
Well, either one.
Okay.
And just starting to think Paul works for YouTube because he's on everyone's channel.
Well, yeah, YouTube and I have an agreement, but
he dictates the schedule.
Amazon the ones that takes really good care of me.
Oh, so you run YouTube and they just send you packages?
Yes. Yep.
That's how he gets everything. And behind that TV, he only has like 4 stoves, 5 refrigerators, 4 toasters, 12. Yeah.
So honestly, he's running a fence.
Yeah. Well, see,
he's got his own little black market running there.
Is I have a private number I can call at Amazon, and I asked for Belinda Green. She's a senior vice president. She takes care of me.
That's what it is, huh, Paul?
Yep. She says, "What do you need now? What do you need now, Paul? I'll send it right over."
That's good to hear, Jackson RC. I'm convinced, Tom, that when I order stuff from California, Paul's house is a hub because it always
yeah.
It always goes through Michigan.
Yeah.
Is Paul filtering it or scanning it or something and passing it along? I'm just wondering. I'm not even in the panel.
He's checking it twice to make sure you've been naughty or nice.
I'm not even in the panel, and I still get blamed for what's going wrong on the panel.
Oh, that's because
you come into live streams.
Because between Robert and Paul, you both instigate the shot and the drop, or dropping the shot.
Oh no! That was an instigation after Lawrence did his famous dance on dance moves.
Yeah,
then we descended into shot and a drop.
I don't know what you're talking about, Paul.
When Lawrence added the moonshine twist to it.
The moonshine.
Paul's
experiencing
technical difficulty. Please stand by.
and you know what? The holidays are coming again there, Lawrence.
Oh, yeah.
No,
I'm down to repeat last year.
Yep.
No, I'm not
there you go.
Moonshine this Christmas.
Look at this.
Hey, Tom, did he tell you about he woke up in bed with one foot out because he had to have it on the floor because the room was spinning?
Oh, I'm definitely.
Yeah, that's a good way to stay anchored, huh?
Oh, Paul. No, what the deal was, Tom? I don't drink to get drunk anymore. I'll drink and get a little buzz and
we'll change that
or get sleepy. And this night I had 3 little sample bottles my friend had gave me for the holidays of moonshine.
Mm-hmm.
I had never tried moonshine before. They were Old Smoky moonshine samples down in the South. One of them was peach flavored, and 2 of them were peppermint.
You got smoky.
Yep.
I don't like peppermint, first of all, so I should have stopped there. But I chugged the first one, Tom, and never drinking moonshine before. I chugged it, and I was like, okay, got a nice little buzz, and we're doing a live stream, and
that wasn't enough. You had to go get some
there.
Jedi
Master Paul there was like, why don't you have another shot, Lawrence? And
Paul was drinking moonshine with you? No, of course not. Of course not.
Of course, right. The instigators never do. That's why you always have someone at the party that says, you ran out of liquor? You're playing drinks for shots, those games. They say, why don't you drink water? You know what happens when you drink water and liquor and alcohol?
Oh, no.
Throw up.
Well, he was having a great night. Justin will tell you. He even went to bed.
I couldn't make it upstairs.
He went to bed and he left his computer and everything on all night long.
I went to bed thinking I shut my computer off. I just got the hell up, walked away. I went and ate something really quick. And my logic, Tom, with the foot on the floor is when I'm laying in bed because I'm so tall. You know how, I don't know if anyone's ever drank that much, but if you drink too much and you lay down flat until your body fluids level off, it feels like everything is moving like this. So I put my foot over the bed on the floor, and it's
the only thing that wasn't leveling off was your inner ear, bro. You were fucking spinning out of control.
Tom, I'll tell you what, it's worth going
when
back.
Your levels
I'll be right back, man.
It's worth going back and looking at, Tom. I'll tell you what a night.
Oh yeah, you have to watch that.
I don't even know what episode it was.
Justin will find it.
I'll find it.
That's okay.
I'm gonna watch that puppy.
Not for nothing. It was like that was the best show ever.
Yeah. It was a decent live stream.
You know what? You could play that show again and use that as the crux of your how to get your successful show going. Just show that.
He's doing the Jedi mind
Start
shit
with
again.
controversy.
He's doing the Jedi mind shit again, Tom.
How to get drunk properly on live.
Yeah. Needless to say, Tom, I will never drink that much moonshine.
Gotta have round two. Round two.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be here for that one.
Justin was chugging some liquor, and he said he barely made it upstairs.
I couldn't make it upstairs to the bedroom. I laid out on the couch.
See, you made the mistake.
I'm not upstairs.
You made the mistake of not laying down a piece of Vegemite first, and then you have the moonshine on top of that.
And Tim Jackson, yes, my voice was slurring.
I
was okay. I was okay. And then on top of it, the 3 shots of moonshine, it was like, come on, let's do one more drop. Herman, touch your camera so it'll autofocus on you. Just put your finger near your camera like that so it'll autofocus on you.
Oh, I thought I was drunk for a minute.
Didn't work.
It was moonshine.
It didn't work. You're still kind of blurry.
Orange juice.
All right, it'll
That's some good orange juice.
But anyway, it was a decent live. It was a decent live stream. But Paul,
that was the best show ever, right, Justin?
Oh yeah.
It's not happening again. Okay, I'm just letting you know right now.
It's
we're coming up on the holidays.
It's happening again.
Yep.
So when you hit a drop in a shot, Tom, they're usually trying to refer to that, but it's not happening. It's not going to be a regular thing. Trust me.
What you said? You're going to do it again?
Do it again.
Yep.
Here we go. Here we go. Justin, stop starting. We're not. We got 8 minutes to go. Okay, I'm getting.
Justin, you make sure you keep that on the schedule for them, Justin, because Lawrence has a tendency to go off.
Supply the
around the holiday, Tom, you may have a drink or two and say happy holiday, but that's about it. I'm not listening to Paul.
That's what it was. Just a drink.
See, he keeps experiencing technical difficulties. That's so.
See, that's what I used to say, Lawrence.
Huh? What's that?
Only drink on special occasions. I guess every day was my occasion.
Well, we'll call it green light holidays with Lawrence.
His moonshine drinking tips. Oddly, it was the holiday time. Listen to Paul. He wanted to do it the following week. He was like, what happened to dropping a shot? Nobody named it a holiday. We're not going to start out the live stream with a shot.
There's always a holiday every month.
Listen, check this out. I don't observe every holiday. That's how I get out of that one.
Celebration of life today. Drink up.
Yep.
I only observe Saturday
it's
and
5
Sunday.
minutes too, guys. I'm going to get the hell out of here. Tim Jackson.
Yeah, before we nail him down to make sure he's doing it again,
you got to get a drop.
Hell out.
We got to get
Mary. Yeah, we're going to get a
drop from our local sponsor.
Phantom Flight 101. Sunday night, we appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with us. Digital Kite Audley. You have to find live streams that you're interested in and go to them and communicate with people and check out.
We got to get them on.
You see the Amazon guy ringing the bell like he got the rent check? He come upstairs and I'm gonna punch him right inside his head. Oh, yeah, he's ringing my bell.
That's the Amazon man?
Yeah, wait till you get your punk ass up here.
Hold on.
Oh, we gotta wait. We gotta wait.
All right, let's get out of here. Sunday nights with those guys is sponsored by
Those
We appreciate you. Come
Just
back
keep
next
it-
Sunday,
keep it on
tomorrow
track,
night,
Justin.
Monday night on Paul Murray. He
Keep
has a
him on
live stream
track,
at 5 p.m. Okay, I'm ignoring Paul now. Anyway, we're out of here, guys. Everyone have a great evening. Thank you for the support. Thank you for coming by.
Make sure you watch Sean on
Thursdays,
Geeksvana and
Grant
make
Ariels
sure
has-
you patronize each other's sites.
Yes,
You guys
Grant
on
Ariels
Wednesday?
also has a stream coming up Thursdays at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
And
And we're
Herman
out of
will be
here.
on
Wash your
on
hands.
Wednesday night.
Hold on, Herman just went to go knock the I just
wanna
ended
hear
the
it.
stream. I just
There you go.
stream. But